and in doing so realized how little I actually knew in my early 20s about the world. And so this country for me has been was my awakening, and my son changed my life. I'm here because 17 years ago I came to this country and fell in love with its people and learned about its history. Becoming a Cambodian family changed my life. So there was never a plan to, we should make this movie. It's just, I became a filmmaker, and one day I thought, what story do I feel is really important to tell?
Imagine being so famous that the world calls you Hollywood's golden boy, and then one flight destroys it all. In 2016, Brad Pitt went from adored movie dad to tabloids hinting about FBI memos and family breakdowns. But what really happened on that private jet that made his kids turn away one by one?
And these kind of, you know, my family, we've all been through a difficult time. And it's not, my focus is my children. We will get through this time and hopefully be a stronger family for it.
But can I ask how you're coping?
Many people find themselves in this situation. Our children, and it is, and my focus is finding this way through. And as I said, we are and forever will be.
And why does even his vineyard seem to whisper betrayal today? Stay with me, because this isn't just a celebrity scandal, it's the slow motion collapse of an entire brand built on looking perfect. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
But we are seeing this rise of populist leaders right around the world. Do you think it's creating a more intolerant society?
This is an old trick, and we should know better to fall for it. Every single individual life. I don't separate people by race, color, religion, and if I do, it's because I celebrate the diversity in the world. And I see it rising, and the only thing I can do is to use my voice and encourage others and raise my children to know right and wrong, and to have a broad view of the world, and to embrace their diversity and other people.
How does one rough plane ride turn a man from an Oscar-winning dad into Hollywood's problem child? That's the question that stuck when Brad Pitt's perfect image collapsed almost overnight. The same guy who magazines called the most handsome in the world, who walked red carpets with a model-like wife, and who used to be paraded around with 6 photogenic kids, somehow ended up painted as the villain. Before the flight, he was America's favorite movie star with a Bono-style humanitarian twist. After the flight, he looked less like a savior and more like a headline everyone regretted reading.
I take it back to your film. Your film is about family and loss. I understand this is a very sensitive issue. We know that an incident occurred which led to your separation.
If not now, more than ever, we really have to rise up and find our rational center, our who are we and what do we stand for, and we know it. We know what's right.
We also know you haven't said anything about this, but would you like to say something?
I don't want to say very much about that, except to say it was a very difficult time, and we are a family, and we will always be a family.
The Pitt-Jolie family was once the ultimate PR dream. They didn't just look like royalty, they styled themselves as the United Nations in designer sunglasses, adopted kids from around the world, biological kids with golden hair and magazine-ready faces, homes in France, Italy, and Beverly Hills. It was the sort of lifestyle Hollywood publicists use as a blueprint. They had the charity work too. Jolie was seen as this globe-trotting ambassador, while Pitt played backup as the cool dad blending movies with philanthropy. Studios loved it, the press loved it, fans ate it up because it was effortless escapism. Then came that 2016 jet ride. The private family vacation turned into a scene that sounded like it belonged in a bad indie drama with beer bottles instead of champagne. Officially, nothing was ever proven against Pitt in court, but whispers about FBI memos and onboard fights followed him like gum on a sneaker. The problem wasn't just that something ugly allegedly happened, it was the timing. Some couples fight and make up, but this happened on an enclosed plane at 30,000 feet, and within days, Jolie filed divorce papers. You don't go from sipping rosé in Chateau Miraval to a split in under a week unless something truly blew up or spilled. And here's where the real chaos begins. Pitt's people scrambled with a crisis PR tour straight out of a corporate playbook. Spin doctors tried to paint him as a struggling dad who needed sympathy, not blame. He gave those polished interviews about soul searching, cutting out alcohol, and focusing on art. Meanwhile, Jolie was setting up her legal chessboard, quietly filing paperwork that would shape custody of 6 kids and drop bombs about his behavior. It was a chess match, except Pitt was playing checkers with paparazzi statements, while Jolie filed rook to queen in family court. Now here comes the funny but brutal part. One minute, Pitt is handing out wine tastings for Miraval. The next, the tabloids are saying drinks were being poured all over his family mid-flight. It's like the Vineyard brand pivoted into an in-flight beverage service nobody signed up for. That tiny detail, beer allegedly being poured on Jolie and the kids, landed like a nuclear headline. Combine that with whispers about the FBI drafting a probable cause memo, and the public went from poor Brad to something seriously rotten here. Hollywood usually forgives a meltdown. Stars crash cars, scream at assistants, toss around phones. If the image survives, if the brand still looks glossy, people look the other way. But family accusations? That's darker. You can't sell a cool dad movie star brand when court documents suggest your kids don't want to be near you. It doesn't matter if you deny it. Mud sticks faster when children are involved. This was the crack in the mirror. Studio execs started to quietly distance themselves. Magazine covers featured him with more suspicion than admiration. And most importantly, the custody battles dragged his name into places Hollywood stars dread: courtrooms and deposition transcripts. Every scandalous word printed didn't just tarnish his reputation, it pulled the golden boy image through the dirt. Whispers of violence, flying liquor, screaming kids in the background. It was the exact opposite of the world's most beautiful family brand. And that's the bigger problem. Once the public starts seeing you not as a flawed actor, but as a bad father, they stop buying tickets with the same excitement. At that point, it wasn't just a scandal, it was a demolition job on his legacy. And when your own children start talking about dropping your last name, it's not a Hollywood crisis anymore. It's not even just a divorce. That's a mark on your bloodline, and no PR team can cover that up. Brad Pitt's crash isn't some myth about wax wings melting near the sun, it's worse. His wings were made of glossy magazine covers, big budget studio deals, and a happy family brand that vanished the second those ugly allegations surfaced. That's the thing about a PR-built image. Once it burns, there's no rebuilding. Money can buy studios, wine estates, and even favorable headlines, but money can't stop kids from legally dropping your name. That's permanent, and every time a new detail leaks, it feels like another piece falls off the Pitt Jolie empire. Follow here because this story is still unraveling.